Bless.
Absolutely. Happy New Year to you first off, brother.
Happy New Year, my guy.
Absolutely, brother.
My Floridian brother.
Absolutely. You know, I'm down south from where you at. Well, let's go here real quick. Stay with me. How do you feel about your Bucks this year?
So let me actually say this. So I tell people all the time, I'm not a Bucks fan. I'm a Bucks supporter.
Okay.
I'm a Bucks supporter. So because I'm in Tampa, because I'm in the city, I like the city doing good. I root for the Bucks. I grew up a Minnesota Viking fan. I know everybody just thinks like it's mad random, but I grew up a Viking fan just because like my cousins, when they were older than me, they was Vikings fans. They big Randy Moss fans, all that stuff. So since then, I just since like the late '90s, early 2000s, I just been following the Vikings ever since. And so whenever they're not playing the Vikings, I root for the Bucks. And obviously, them being in the playoffs, I'm rooting for them. But I just don't call myself a fan because like when they lose, like when they lost, I wasn't mad. I wasn't like it didn't ruin my day. I hated it because it was another game for the city. The city we almost to the Super Bowl. Like more. Everything just starts popping when your team is just moving. So, but I think they exceeded expectations. They did their thing. You know what I'm saying? Like Baker Mayfield, I feel like did more than what people thought he was gonna do. Everybody thought it was like going to be a down season for them. Yep. But even though the division was weak, they still did what they needed to do, and then they won a playoff game, bro. Like they beat the Eagles, regardless of what you thought of the Eagles going into the playoffs. Yeah, they quote unquote, was losing all these games, and they just wasn't. AJ Brown was out. At the end of the day, it's like you're still the Eagles. You made it to the Super Bowl, like all this stuff. You was favorites, go in there and win, but Tampa came out with the dub, man. So salute to them.
What's your take on the NBA season so far?
I love it, bro. Last night I thought that I don't know what
they put in that game. Last night.
Embiid, bro. It wasn't just Embiid. It was everyone. It was everyone.
I called Anthony Towns at 60.
Bro, he was chasing 70. You had KD with 43 and the game winner. You had Jason Tatum putting up 35. Like everybody was just on one last night. Jaylen Brown was over there crossing Luka out there. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah, to usher in Black History Month. Come here, Luka. You know what I'm saying? So I think that I think the NBA season is great. I think obviously, once football is done, a lot more people are gonna start giving attention. After the All-Star break, a lot more people are gonna start, okay, cool, let's see who gets in the playoffs, all this other stuff. What moves gonna get made? So, the Warriors, the Lakers, two teams that always kind of just have like that championship or bust mentality. Both of them are just not doing well, so they got to make a move, and it's like, all right, what they gonna do, type of thing. So,
is Boston coming out the East clearly?
Not clearly, but I would think that they're favorites. You know what I'm saying? You still got Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? You still like to me. You still got the Heat. They just got Terry Rozier today, and I didn't. But but look, I said the same thing, but I didn't know that man was averaging damn near 24 points a game over there in Charlotte. And so my thing is like moving over to Miami. To me, it's like it's gonna be. I think he's better than Kyle Lowry right now, so I think it's an upgrade.
He got this culture thing they got. You got Jimmy Butler is Jimmy Butler's squad, and Bam. Everything goes to Jimmy and Bam first. But Terry Rozier,
Terry not gonna average 24 with it. But what I'm saying is like,
15, 18 will be good.
You got to think that he's better. You know what I'm saying? And then like to me, I like the Celtics are definitely the favorites. It's just like, damn, bro. And then KP hooping more than what he was doing. Drew Holiday seemed like a good addition. Everything, they just seem like they got it together. And so we'll see, bro. But they are the favorites, though.
The Bucks just fired their coach today.
I saw that, bro. And what was that for? Somebody told me that was Giannis.
You have to know that's Giannis has. Yeah, all right. Here's you watch sports. You know how this goes, man.
Yeah.
The people up top. You don't think they reach out to Giannis first before they made this move? His thoughts?
Yeah, I know. But my only thing is, what were you firing? Because this my thing. Like, if it wasn't, I know the people on the top probably consult with him. But what I'm saying is, was it Giannis that wanted him fired? That's the question I got. Because, like, what was the reason for firing him?
Right.
It's not like, what are they? The second, third seed?
Third seed, yeah, second, third. Well, it's Boston, right?
Milwaukee, Philly up there.
Philly's up there. Philly's been winning. Philly been wilding though. Philly been wilding. So yeah.
I just seen them in Orlando. I just went out there and I saw them beat Orlando.
Okay. And who you like out the West?
You gotta still say Denver no matter what, bro. As long as that. But I would love for Phoenix, to win. I would love to see Golden State and LA to kind of get some, get some momentum back into the playoffs. I'm not really a big Minnesota fan, but I am an Anthony Edwards fan. So, and he been hooping. So, I mean, yeah, I guess I would lean towards Denver, but I don't root for Denver though. I don't really, it's not like I'm hoping that Denver comes out, but a team that I wouldn't be mad that if out of nowhere they end up doing it. Actually, two teams, I'm sorry. So I think the Denver would do it. The only team that I actually kind of think this year, and I know what people are gonna say, is the Clippers. I think the Clippers been putting it, and then the question mark is like, okay, are they all gonna stay healthy? Who's gonna get hurt? Type of thing. But since all of them been on the court and they got it together, and then OKC, that's the only other one, bro.
I like the Clippers though. I like the Clippers coming out the West though. I like Boston and the Clippers coming out. I think Boston, LA Clippers could be the NBA Finals. But, we love sports. We off that right now, man. My brother, man, talk to me about your 2023, man.
You talking about what, life, or you talking about battle rap?
Battle rap wise, life, everything, man. Fucking mixing everything. I see you how looking fly with the mix and everything. You getting fresh out here with the big joints out here. What we doing, man?
So yeah, 2023, man, I enjoyed it, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that was probably the most traveling I've done. I did the most battles that year. And that's kind of what I was aiming for. In the midst of that though, when you kind of get, I mean, every other year, whenever I'm active, I'm kind of just always just in the mix of like the top 10 battlers at the end of the year. I feel like when you do a lot of battles like that, unless you're also doing main stage joints, what ends up happening is like your year kind of it just seems like another year. It doesn't, like there's nothing that we could really hold on to it. So that's why to me, like, I don't think, like, if somebody did try to argue me as a top 20 battler, maybe, but I don't think I am, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just been so many different battles that that probably just don't mean a lot to people. And then the ones that did, unfortunately, like for instance, me and Danny never dropped, the whole issue with Mr. Fab and John. You got me and Mike P not going down. Originally was me and Miss Hustle twice, you know what I'm saying? And then that was supposed to happen on Homecoming as well. And so it's just a lot of different things that kind of just end up putting it to like just a regular year. But nonetheless, but I would say this, just me personally though, man, I had a lot of fun, bro. I mean, traveling local leagues, going to a lot of different places where people were not able to see Loso in person because, they can't go out to New York or Houston or Atlanta. They get to see me out in, Utah, Flint, Michigan, stuff like that. So.
Were you frustrated at all for not getting the battles?
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. I mean, probably the Mike P one was probably the most frustrating one just because, that's like the buzzer beater for me. You know what I'm saying? That's the end of year off. And I'm just like, all right, let's go ahead and get this battle out the way. I thought it was a cool matchup. Certain matchups, I tell people all the time, certain matchups, unfortunately, when you get stuck in this, in the URL, because there's so much talent in the URL circuit, right? But I tell people all the time, any battle rapper that comes up to me, I tell them, you got to be self-aware. You have to be self-aware of who you are and where you're at. So my thing is like for the self-awareness is there's a starting roster on URL that whether or not you think you better than them, I'm not saying these are the best. I'm just saying there's a starting roster in the sense of anytime a big event comes, URL is not going to not include them, right? The Tank Rocks, Twerks, the Geechees, these are the guys that are always just gonna get the calls because one, they're the most popular. They perform at a high level. They've done it in the past. They have certain contracts, certain relationships with URL where it's just like, yo, these are the guys. These are just the marquee guys. Now, not only do you have to compete with those guys, but then you also have to compete with any legend that wants to come back because you have to think about it. I could also feel like I'm better than Rex. I'm better than Verb. I feel like I'm better than whoever it is. But to smacking them, you're not going to go ahead and get those spots above those guys. You're just not, unfortunately. This is just being self-aware. This is not saying, I know Loso knows I could go ahead and perform better than those guys, but they're going to choose Arsenal on that stage before, somebody else. Like, unfortunately, it just happens like that. And so you kind of got to fit in when you get in, you know what I'm saying? You got to go on a hot run. You got to build a case, whatever it is, to get in those conversations. And when you get in those conversations, make sure that you just, when you get those opportunities, make sure that you just execute. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it's gonna be tough. But so when you get, so my point is when you're in that like revolving door where they're just kind of like just calling you for these app joints, and then kind of just creating content, and then you get this, you get that. you kind of have to ask yourself, like, all right, well, what's my goal? You know what I'm saying? Is it to make some bread here, and is it just to go ahead and use this to kind of travel over here? But like I said, for me, it was to have fun that year, make some money, which I did, and I got to travel all over the world, and perform on a high level. So.
For the new fans that don't know this, man, your journey from going to URL to going to RBE first, right, to get on URL because you were really seeked out, right?
Mm-hmm.
You still do it the same way you did it?
If I could do it all over?
Yes.
Yeah, I would. I think, like, I tell people all the time, like,
you would take show off daylight all RBE before all that. You did it, right? Okay, all right.
Yeah. And right before, so the Murder Mook and Averb card was the same year that I debuted on Gnome, right? And so I was offered Math Hoffa on that card. And so I was offered Math Hoffa on that card. And it was either I take that battle or I finally link a deal with URL. And they came back and they, before it was just like, do this, do this honeycomb hideout, do this, do that, stuff like that. And I was just like, nah, me personally with my brand and how I'm kind of moving and me being the hottest thing out right now, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. So we finally obviously linked the deal, right, for the Gnome joint, Gnome debut. And I just thought it was just such a big, it was Surf's return. It was just such a big deal to be the first guy to kind of not do the traditional, even though B-Dot had just did it a couple months before with Emerson Kennedy, but this was on Gnome. You're debuting on Gnome type of thing. Nobody has ever done that. And so I think just like making history is just always just what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And I had already showed like, yo, I'm on KOTD, I'm on RBE, I'm on all their main cards, I'm main event and bullpen. I am there's a conversation now on Twitter. I don't know if you saw, it's like, yo, what's a rookie, right? Because all these guys that are coming through URL is like, they call themselves rookies, but it's like, yo, you've been battling for 5, 6, 7 years. And so to me, it's just like, obviously different now, but back then to me and that's not even back then, but 2015, 2016, like we were rookies because we had never battled before. We had never battled before, bro. So I'm talking about Derrick Rose rookies. I'm talking about like rookies that are coming in and shaking the coat and making. So that's what, to me, I pride myself for that. Whether or not people know the history is just, it is what it is. But I wouldn't do it differently, bro.
Okay. Talk to me about the T-Top battle.
Which one? The because I battled him twice.
Yeah, the last one happened on the app.
The one on the app. Okay. Yeah. So because we ended up battling again in Tampa. Fire, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought it was a really good battle. We ended up getting a YouTube drop on that one too. I think like
were you surprised? I'm gonna cut you off. Were you surprised about the YouTube drop?
I wasn't, because they called me. So originally they ended up they said they were going to start doing a couple YouTube drops here, but at that time they ended up calling me and they said, hey, we're going to drop you and Klutz, right, originally. And I was just like, okay, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that was a great performance for me, but it was just like, I knew it wasn't going to get that much traction because unfortunately Klutz is new, right? And so I had proposed to them. I was like, well, if you're trying to drop a battle for me, like if you just want to give me a YouTube drop, then go ahead and drop Vixen or JC. That's what I said. You know what I'm saying? Especially
JC battle would have been.
I said drop the JC one, but they wanted to join it with what event was it that was coming? I think it was maybe Summer Madness or whatnot. And T-Top was on there, so they was like, hey, we're trying to also promote an artist from here. So would you be comfortable with T-Top and you? And even if people had T-Top winning that battle, I was just like, yo, I still like my performances. So because they weren't just trying to go ahead and drop me, JC, or me and Vixen, we just said, all right, cool, let's go ahead and do the T-Top one, which was still good. You know what I'm saying? The battle did hella views. T-Top ended up going viral on TikTok for his Jesus is Black thing. Really good back and forth and stuff like that. So I liked it.
All right. And the Chaos battle?
Chaos battle. So that's the only battle in 2023 where I was disappointed because, and obviously in my performance, It's just choppy, right? I end up getting through my material,
Mhm.
but I just needed probably one more day. And and a lot of people don't know I took 7 battles in 8 weeks during that time span. I was doing KOT Black, I did that. I did a bunch of different things, and so just trying to work and kind of put some stuff together. And so, I wrote that chaos material, which I thought was really good material in like maybe like 3 days, 3 or 2 days, you know what I'm saying, memorizing it. And so I wish remember there was another day, the next day they were
Mhm.
doing it was final exams, then it was Saturday. Oh, then they did band the next day. So I was just like, yo, let's just move me and Chaos to band, but they just didn't want to do that. And so I ended up just battling that day. And so that was the only battle in which for me, I just felt like if my performance was cleaner, would have been a better battle. But sometimes, when you take, when you go to war like that, it's just, and what's crazy is I had told Chaos. Chaos is a formidable opponent that you don't just go in there. I tell people all the time, at this level, bro, like it don't matter who you is. Maybe the fans might look at like somebody like Chaos like this or somebody, but like these are tough battles. On the URL level, this is the NBA. There's tough battles. I don't care if you book me against Mook or New York or if you book me against Swerve or Maryland, both are gonna be tough battles. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
regardless of what it is. So I knew that. I knew that I was gonna be having to write. I was gonna have 1 week to basically prep and then a couple days to write and memorize for K Chaos. But so I asked them, I won't say this. I asked them for a specific opponent. And when I asked for a specific opponent, Smack's response was no layups, which to me was kind of like, damn, that's what you think about oh boy. But I said, but the thing about it though is because the only reason why I even said oh boy's name is because he was already supposed to be on the card. I had
Okay.
already heard his name on that 3-day weekend card. They couldn't
Yeah.
find an opponent, so I was like, hey, give me that. So not saying that I'm not saying that my performance would have been clean against him. Maybe I probably would have been able to come up with material quicker. I don't know what. I'm just saying that is who I originally asked for, and then they was just like, nah, let's go ahead and do Chaos because I think Chaos and Snake Eyes was supposed to battle, but then
Mm.
that battle fell through. So
Okay.
need an opponent for Chaos. So shout out to Chaos though. That's my man's. You know what I'm saying? He did what he's supposed to do, and then right after that, got back to work or whatnot. But yeah, that's the only battle in 2023 in which I was just like, man, I wish I could have that one back.
Now, before I ask you about official, I want to ask you one question here. You put a tweet out there saying strength of schedule in battle rap is the biggest myth. It's no way to truly measure somebody's schedule based on names. Take away all the subjective categories and make cats great again. Can you elaborate on that?
Mhm.
I thought that
Yeah,
was a
yeah,
hard
yeah.
tweet you put out there though. Which would you?
So in champion of the year, obviously they got a bunch of different criteria and whatnot. But one, I just think the strength of schedule is just like, bro, like you can't. Unfortunately, that just can't be a criteria, an objective criteria for somebody to judge. Because I'm gonna be honest, we all think certain guys are better than certain people, right? And not only that, but then, like for instance, me and Real Name Brandon battled Twerk the same year, right?
Mhm.
So Real Name Brandon ends up getting a clear win, right? Because Twerk doesn't even rap. Twerk ends up, going crazy against me, even though I put on a great performance. You trying to tell me and Real Name Brandon gonna get the same amount of strength of schedule points because we battle the same name? Nah, it wasn't the same performance. One, two. Another thing is because some people could be like, all right, cool, we won't go ahead and judge the strength of schedule until after the performance. Well,
Mhm.
even then, though, it's like, who are you to say that this strength, the strength just happened after the performance? You don't understand the context. What if I battled 5 weeks in a row, right?
Mhm.
And my fifth battle is Kid Chaos, and I do well, right? You're not gonna give me extra points for battling Kid Chaos on my fifth battle, but you're gonna give somebody like Surf, who waited 4 months to go ahead and battle Calico, right? And you're gonna say, oh well, Calico's a bigger name and yada, and he's all time better than Kid Chaos, so he's a more difficult battle than Kid Chaos. No, he's not. Not in that situation. You see what I'm saying? You give me, bro, anybody. This is what I told you. At this level, we're not talking about just on the local joints on the road here and there. I'm talking about at this level, anybody can be beat any day. Anybody can beat anybody, bro. Like you can't find it shocking that Foots beats this guy, or Swervo beats this guy, or Sheet Happens beats this guy. You can't be shocked, even if the other person has a high profile, because at the end of the day, you don't know what's going on. On top of that, we're all performing at a high level, bro. It's all the NBA. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say one-on-one like there aren't favorites and there aren't this, that, and the third. But the strength of schedule thing, bro, is just too many variables for just somebody just to look at somebody's schedule and be like, yeah, that one's tougher than this. No, it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like my man Warby battling, 30 times, and yeah, cool. You got him battling, Creatine Carlos out there, and then Michigan Mike out there and stuff like that. But my thing is like, cool, he's doing all of that, and then he's also battling Frack, Sick, Verb, and stuff, and then you just getting on him because, well, I got him losing 3 or 4 of those battles. Yeah, but the man still went out there and performed. And on top of that, like those guys are sitting back and writing for him while he's writing every week. And so it's just a myth, bro. It's just a myth. It's not, there's no concrete way to really hold to it. And, I think that if you want to really put a criteria up there, take that one out and find something else, bro. Because no one's gonna be consistent.
So out of all the categories they have for champion of the year, you want that to be excluded out?
I think that it's no way. I mean, so when I say I want to be excluded, I'm not saying like, when they put it in, it's just when they use that particular category that it's like it's uninteresting or it's not. Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying for me personally, it's no objective way. And so you got guys up there debating about strength of schedule when everyone's using their own criteria. Now, for instance, impact, right? You could also technically do that, but no, we know what impacts, because like we could go, I could easily be like, okay, cool. What was the most talked about? What was the most views? What was the most pay-per-view watches? What was this? Like impact, like Twerk and Mook, no matter what it is, has more impact than than me and Sheet Happens. Like it's just right. It's just like we can do that. Jazz the rapper, like every time she stepped outside, there was this impact about her. It was the conversation. You see the media. It's like there's ways to grade that. Even wins and losses for the most part. Wins and losses I don't really like when it's not like clear. But I'm just saying, like, for instance, okay, cool, the general consensus is that old buddy lost his battle. You know what I'm saying? Or this person choked and then now we got a clear winner, whatever it is. Like sometimes you could do that. I forgot like the other categories, but just for strength of schedule, it's just really tough, bro. It's really tough.
But don't you kind of need strength of schedule when you're having a pecking order of rappers for the year though, and you're stuck somewhere? Like if you're stuck between 1, 2, and 3, and then you have to nitpick a little bit.
Yes, yeah, I'm fine with that, bro. Because here's the thing, right? There's like when you start doing the years and you start getting like, okay, who's in the top 20 and stuff, that's fine. But then when you start placing them, you kind of do have to nitpick. I'm not denying that, right? So for instance, if I want to start saying, who has the better year out of Danny Myers and Tay Rock, right? Hey, unfortunately, Danny, you know what? I didn't want to bring up the fact that Jay Moore might have got the best of you on this, but now that we're here and we're trying to see who's 4 and 5, I got to use that against you. I'm sorry, such and such. I didn't want to bring up this battle, but now we have to, because now we have to start figuring out where the placement goes. And so I'm okay with that. And even if you want to say, look, he lost to somebody we don't know, and then this person beat some, like I have no problem starting the conversation there. But when you just have a bold list and you're just like, yeah, this guy here, this guy there, and he's also, he has a better strength of schedule than him, without really like getting to the bottom of it, I'm like, nah, bro, that's not helpful for anybody, and it's doing a disservice to really like the work that you kind of put in. If you're rewarding the men and women for the work that they put in, bro, you can't just throw out, yeah, his schedule wasn't tough. Come on, you don't know that. You're not even a battle rapper.
But you would agree that the media is gonna know because they watch everything that moves, though, more than you guys, respectfully, right?
Do they? Like for instance, like no, they watch. Okay. I'm not saying that every battle rapper get on stage and do it. I'm just saying when you have a battle rapper, like for me, I put my name in the hat. I told him, I was like, look, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? And if I go up there, I mean, you're gonna see that I'm able to communicate and articulate every single point that I'm trying to prove. I can dialogue with you, and I'm gonna do the research. It's really just about doing the homework and the research because the battles are online. But
are you guys willing to wait real quick? The research word. Are you guys willing to do the research more than people that Jay Black and them got on that panel? Because those guys watch everything that moves.
Nah, so let me say this. Let me say this. I'm not saying that all battle rappers are willing to do that. I'm saying that if I'm on the panel, I'm willing to do that. Loso is. Two, the statement that everybody that Jay Black has put on there has watched no, bro, there's been several statements in which battles. I'm not saying that the battles that they are arguing for that they didn't watch. I'm saying that there's certain battles and battlers that they aren't arguing for is because they haven't watched those battles. That's what I'm getting at. And there's been several times in which a statement has been made from the panel like, come on, bro, nobody watched that. What? That was your job. You should have watched it. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not talking about people who aren't even in discussion, but my thing is like, if this guy is a top 20 battler, you best believe, unfortunately, you got to go ahead and watch that battle. You got to. You know what I'm saying? So I think that don't get me wrong, the people on that stage, on that panel, I'm sure that they're trying their best, and it's definitely a tough task for me personally. Like I said, if I was there, I would.
So are you going to be on it this year? Are you planning on being on the panel this year? 2024?
I put my name in the hat. We talked. I don't think it is because I'm gonna be honest. I can't. The only reason why I don't think it's happening is because I don't think that I would. So put it this way. I won't be able to just fund myself to go up there. You know, fly all that other stuff. And not saying that that's anybody's obligation. I'm just saying me personally. If it was offered to me like, yo, Los, you know what I'm saying, we'll fly you up or we'll do that. But I mean, it's not like I'm make or break anyway, so I don't expect them to accommodate me. It's not like I'm, somebody that they need to have. I'm just saying, hey, if it was there and if it was in the budget and stuff like that to have me up there, I would be more than glad to go ahead and debate with y'all and do that. So,
all right. Do you have any battles before the official battle? Before we go to official conversation?
I do. I have a battle, and actually in like a week and a half, on URL, and I have a battle there, and then I have the 2-on-2 versus Mac and Clean. In Michigan, me and War versus Mac and Clean, which is really just me and Mac, me versus Mac. That's really what it is. So just step aside, just let us get this over with in his backyard. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Let's get it over with. But I wish it was 3 rounds. It's 1 round. It's a 1-round battle, but I think
one round, two.
Let me find out. It actually might be 3 rounds. I don't know. And the reason why I'm saying that now because I felt like I heard that, but if not, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's 3 or 1. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's gonna be a fire battle, and about time me and Mac exchange words anyway. So
all right, brother, you an official, man. What are we doing here, man? Is this your second Kardashian that you're battling, right?
Yeah, I put up my women resume, and
let's talk about it.
I'm like, man, yo, I battle nothing but legends. You know what I'm saying? Like all that. And official commented,
Vixen,
yeah, and official commented and was like, yeah, all of them, bro. Jazz, and even Hustle, the times that I did prep for her, so my thing is like, official had commented though, and she was like, yeah, now you got to see the boss. She's the final boss of them, which is funny. So I think I'm excited, bro, because I think if you just look at that card, I think that's the most competitive matchup off just the names, right? Like I'm not saying there's no diss to anybody else. I'm just saying like I guess equal, like as far as like talent, as far as like resumes. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, as far as resumes and the.
All right, you an official and Sugar Be Magic. Can I say that?
I mean, no. I think Sugar it's still
Be Magic.
So Sugar Be Magic, yeah, but I mean, like, yo.
Loso.
You gonna put me. But what are you arguing though? What are you arguing? That it's gonna be more competitive?
I can see the 2 competitive battles on that card for me. Are you an official and Sugar Be Magic?
Yeah, I think we're just at a state. Unfortunately, this is no diss, bro. But like, unfortunately, we're just at a state with Magic, right? Where it's just like, yo, what Magic you getting?
Okay.
That's just and if you real. with yourself, you
I agree
feel
with
that
you,
way,
man.
right? Like, and it's almost like, yo, when he does well, we get so excited, right? The Arsenal battle is just like, it's just like, yo, well, if he's a legend and he's Magic, then yo, hold him to that standard type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, I agree with you.
And so I don't get me wrong. Yes, B Magic and Suge is definitely. I mean, it's just one of them ones too. Like it's they both legends and stuff like that. So, but Fisher being from New Orleans, you know what I'm saying, in there.
How you feel about that? At the crib, you on the road?
Yeah, I'm bro. I love them. I just love when it's just you against everybody. You walking in there and it's just like, all right, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Fish. Like I know what she do. I know what she does. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my homegirl. Like I've kicked it with her and she's even, I've seen her perform against before Jazz was doing this circuit of like battling men.
Fisher was that girl.
Fisher was doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember when I seen her battle Disaster in LA. I was just like, yo, this is crazy. This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? She was the first to me, even though other women were doing it, I just felt like Fish was doing it at a pace that it was like unprecedented.
Gaddis battled a lot of dudes.
40 battle dudes, you know what I'm saying? Like,
42.
yeah, 40 had battle dudes too and stuff. And
Money,
I'm not there. Farrah has in the past, but what I'm getting at when Official was doing it though, for some reason, it just seemed like, whoa, these are like Official's at the top of the game, and she's not just battling anybody, she's battling these guys type of thing. And so, and even when she still comes back, when she still does King versus Queens, like, it's Tay Rock, it's whoever, it's Arsenal. And so I'm excited, bro. I think that she's gonna do her thing, and we're gonna go to war.
How much you want to stop her return?
I definitely want to stop her, bro. That's my main motivation. That's my main motivation. Every time it's just like, I bet, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I love about Official though? I think so before the battle was announced, you interviewed her, and I think it was you, and she basically was just like, yeah, and she couldn't say the opponent, but she was just like, my opponent that I have is gonna be a tough one. Mm-hmm. She's like, he's really, really good. Like, so she showed respect, and she knows what's up. And she went on this, even though she said, I'm gonna get him out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't beating me in New Orleans. Like when she said that, that's fine. But the fact that she started it with that type of respect and then went to that energy, I was like, I could rock with that. All right, cool, let's go to war type of thing.
Oh, so she know what time it is, bro. She even if the crib.
But even when you but it's another thing. I think everybody does. At this level, everybody knows what time. Right. But are you just trying to say something different just for the narrative around the storyline, or you just gonna keep it real? And she kept it real, and then she even kept the storyline up there too. Like, yo, you're not beating me at the crib. I bet. Well, that's the challenge then. Let's see what's up.
Now that I think about it, you might be right though, Lo, because I'm thinking about this now. Both of y'all gotta win. Both of y'all really gotta win this battle, though, bro. Now think about it, though, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's pay-per-view. It's UW's return. It's her hometown. It's just me, like, just trying to obviously, like I got this narrative like, yo, when he's in front of women, yada yada yada. So I want to keep up whatever narrative you want to put, or like she's been gone, and we kind of haven't really seen Loso on a big whatever it is. Like, let's go ahead and clash and put on a crazy performance.
You know what's funny though? I feel a lot of times, a lot of dudes, for whatever reason, they don't do good against a woman. I really can't say that about you, brother. You're probably one of the few people in battle rap that battle women.
Yeah.
And that, because I love rock, I love Herb, but they kind of sometimes.
Yeah, and I don't know why.
But the thing is this: the guys go viral though with the women though.
They did. Verb and Rock did go viral. That's what they did.
Go viral.
It's so crazy. Like, they went viral, but like, I had performance of the night. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had performance of that same car. Like, they went viral. They went to millions of views. People probably know their verses. Don't get me wrong. J Black Smack White went mini viral too, but not like how their content was like on TikTok and stuff. Verb, when he's talking about like how women treat men, and then Red Rock with the big body stuff. And so like that just went past the culture. But it goes to show you that sometimes it's your moments will overshadow whatever consensus they have. Some people thought Official and Hustle won that night, but the moment that those guys had just lived longer. And so I know some people kind of feel that way when they get in front of women, but I just take it as like, man, these girls performing at high levels, and you don't want to be that guy where it's just like, yo, this girl did such and such, this girl did you bad.
So this is your first time on UW, right?
This is my first time on UW. Yep.
Now, is it your first time battling in New Orleans or no?
This is my Now, this is my first time in UW. It's my first time in UW, and this is my first time ever in New Orleans. So I was gonna battle. I was supposed to battle somebody at the battle of the was it Bayou the when they did official Jazz versus Farrashuni, that card. Man, I was supposed to battle somebody, and it got moved to a different card. But that was gonna be my first time. But this is my first time in New Orleans.
Were you supposed to battle Rum Nitty at one time? Was there conversations about that?
Yeah. We were last. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. We was supposed to main event a card in Houston for URL, and then it was like initiation or something like that. I think my name was up in the traffic, and then something else or whatnot. But yeah, that's always going to be a battle. Me personally, I just want to make sure that my big battles, you know, whether it's Tay Rock, whether it's Nitty, whether it's Geechee and stuff like that, me personally, how I just kind of operate, I don't want to just waste them on, not saying that it's a waste, bro, because I don't want to make it seem, but I just don't want to do them on the app. I just kind of want it to be where the world is watching type of thing. And so, you know, if I was managing, you know, these young dudes, like the Crucible dudes, I would probably just tell them like, look, I know you want to go ahead and strike, you know, like light a match real quick or fire out of a pan and probably go viral against, you know, Nitty or Danny Myers, whoever you're battling. But understand, like, you're not on pay-per-view, right? You want an app. And even if the consent, like Saflair Soul, right? Like, he ended up battling. He's already got Chess, Danny Myers, Rum Nitty, John DNA. You know, he's already stood for, but it's like, okay, like you did it, but his
Fresh told me the same thing you said earlier today, bro.
A lot of people always they always want to be like, and I remember being a boxer. I remember as a boxer fan, I remember getting mad at boxers for not fighting, right? And it's just like, well, I kind of understand why. At that moment, why would you do it? You know what I'm saying? Now you've already taken these are big bad guys, right? Like Nitty, it's not like you get a better bag down the road once you build up, but you've already, not saying that Saflair didn't do his thing, he probably did, you know what I'm saying? But my thing is like, and that's just one example. It could be anybody, but when you use all of your big name battles early on, and then you get to a point where you quote unquote want to make a 4, 5, 6 figure day, you know what I'm saying, or just a big pay-per-view or main event, something like that. Who do you have? My thing is like, yo, just build up by beating, you know, by battling your class, and then even some guys above that, whoever it is. And I'll self-aware. I'll even say, yo, like battle Loso before you battle. I'm not saying it's going to be an easier matchup. What I am saying is that, to me, you want to keep that potential punch, especially for something like that, right? Oh, this is a puncher's matchup, or this is an angle match, whatever it is, even the pens and stuff like that. You kind of want to build that for something else. And unfortunately, just the temperature of the culture that we're in, everything's just like, bro, it's like 100 battles going on every month. Where a couple years ago, even just a couple years ago, you were able to go ahead and battle and probably, you know, gain traction off of something like, you know, for instance, like I wasn't on URL for a long time, like, and I was able to do that, right? Like, there's a reason why me and B Dot on Bullpen was such a big deal, and we had just came out, you know what I'm saying? It's a reason why, you know, me battling Show Off or me battling this, even though the name today, if you say that matchup, they probably wouldn't think something, but at that time, it wasn't a lot of competition going on as far as where to watch, what pay-per-view to buy. Now, you just have to be a little more strategic as a battler. And I just think like, okay, cool, take this battle, do what you got to do. But if it's not eyes on it, sometimes, bro, I'll be honest, bro, like somebody like a kid like Nex, right? I think he's great. I would tell Nex, I'll be like, look, you got a relationship with Geechee, right? I would be like, look, instead of taking, let's say they offered Nex, I'm trying to think of somebody, you know, I mean, here he did the twerk battle. Let's say Tay Rock. Let's say Tay Rock won on an app, right? I don't know, bro. I just would tell him just to hold off on that and just ask like the Riot to like, yo, book you and, you know, I think like a Sheet Happens or something like that, right? On pay-per-view. So if the world is watching what you can do, right? Now when you get back to URL, you almost have like a resume. Hey, this is what the world is talking about. This is what, now unfortunately for him, the disaster battle didn't come out, but it's something like that where it's like, yo, the battlers come up to me and ask me all the time. I'm like, yo, go find another pay-per-view that's about to happen. Chrome is kind of difficult, right? It's kind of like a Remy. I don't know if it's Remy, but like, go see what the Trench is doing. Go see what Book is doing. Go see what KOTD's doing. Go see what RB, whatever. If you can do that, I'm saying do the Riot. Go see what those pay-per-views are doing, so you can be in front of the world on a marquee matchup. So if it is, Geechee Gotti versus New Jersey Twerk rematch on the Riot, well, then try to just, even if you have to go ahead and sacrifice some money just to get on the undercard, get on that undercard, bro, and ball out, and then now take that energy and move forward. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that just go where the eyes are, because there's no competition with those things. Certain matchups, let's be honest, bro, certain matchups just look better elsewhere. Me and Mike, you would have put me and Mike P in the middle of Civil War, people would have been like, okay. But when it was on Trenches versus Bullpen, it was like, ooh.
Yeah.
I kind of like it. And it's just like, why is that? Oh, it's because of the aesthetic of it. It's the conversation. It's like Loso and Mike P, when they're around everyone else, but unfortunately, not because of talent, but because of just narratives and stuff, when they're around like the Mooks and the Luxes like that, you kind of really don't even want to see them. But when it's over there, it's just like, yo, I don't know. This is a matchup that I want to see now. You know what I'm saying? Now when it comes on, it's like the energy shit. We look like more of a marquee matchup on the Trenches versus Bullpen card than we would have in the middle of a Civil War.
Right.
So
I like the observation. I like how you broke that. You're a very smart brother, man. Let me ask you a couple more questions here. You were real sick. Does that make sense?
I think it does. Yeah. I mean, they've been saying that since they've been saying that since we started doing the caffeine stuff, and that's because we kind of were just both on a roll. We just battling all the time. I think that it's not like something that I'm like looking for, and I know for a fact it's not something that he's looking for either. But if it does come across my table, I'm like, bet, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you want to go and make this matchup, and if Six down with it too, I'll definitely do it. So I think he's he's just one of the best in the world, and so it's always dope to kind of go toe to toe with that.
Okay, what do you got going on for the rest of the year?
That's what I got as far as those three battles. There's trying to get back out to London. They've already contacted me for that. Trying to debut in Nigeria as well. They contacted me. We're trying to just work that out. But other than that, man, hopefully just situations. That's kind of what this year. Last year was like some fun stuff, but this year's kind of situations. Are the situations like, it doesn't even have to be the matchups, you know what I'm saying? But it's the situation just dope. And so that's what I'm looking forward to.
That's a nice painting back there, brother. Who did that?
Which one? So this one right here is actually me versus Chess. And a fan drew that class, and that he told me it was one of his favorite battles, that he wanted to go ahead and bless me with that. This one was just Perez actually did this for me, bro. He did like a collage of just like some of his moments and stuff. So yeah, man, I got some other fan art around here too, but yeah, it's dope.
Last question. The Eminem talk. You been seeing that on the TL?
I did.
What's your take on that, Lo? What's your take on that?
Sometimes, bro, like leave unless he said something that's like disrespectful to the culture. Don't just randomly disrespect a guy like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, to me, it's like he's the GOAT, or he's one of the GOATs, right?
One of the GOATs, absolutely.
He may be a GOAT to somebody, but regardless, though, you know how talented he is. And you talking about a guy who's paid homage to several battle rappers. You know what I'm saying? He called Pat Stay one of the greatest battle rappers of all time. And so to me, I'm just like, I don't know why the conversation would out of nowhere start with, yo, he would not do well on this. So like, okay, we understand that he's older. Okay, we understand that, yo, anybody who hasn't battled on URL isn't going to be able to probably like catch up with the formula of how we punch and how we scheme and all stuff.
And flow.
But the original conversation was, yo, if M does it, check this out. He's not necessarily going to lose because the people in the room are not going to be battle rap. And that's all Mickey was getting at. Mickey started all Mickey was getting at, bro. So that's it.
Los, man, I appreciate you as always, brother. You know, I know you like cook food, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, my guys. That's about Loso, man. I know the vibes.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate you.